Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Andrew Christenson. I am running for President of the United States. I'm the reluctant patriot, and I believe in the Constitution of the United States of America. Today is Sunday. It's July 1st, 2012. It's about 11:30 a.m. This is video number 52. Very important. I was up all night. I've been doing some research. Let's talk about what happened with Obamacare. Fact. John Roberts was nominated by George W. Bush. Fact. The Katrina virus was released while George W. Bush was president. Is there a connection? Read the opinion. You tell me what you think. I think there is. I think that fact. The Supreme Court has my book, the United States Supreme Court and the Katrina virus. They also have my book, An American-Born Terrorist, emails to the Department of Justice. And let's not forget that I told the world that I was going to arrest the 9 sitting judges for misprision of treason, misprision of a felony. I was also going to use the RICO Act. There's no doubt that they know about the Katrina virus. They realize that 155 million Americans and Canadians could be infected. Did they have a choice? I mean, who's going to provide medical care for these people? I want you to go back and reference video 11, which is about data mining, video 50 about who's going to pay for the medical care. I talk about the Katrina Healthcare Foundation, $2 trillion, ladies and gentlemen, so that an independent organization monitors this. Also, video 47, I am unable to upload that video because the Department of Justice has blocked it. The Supreme Court, and this is a foot stomper, has a copy of that DVD. They know what happened at the Danziger Bridge. They know the United States military was conducting operational missions within the territorial boundaries of the United States. They know that. They know that they killed Americans. They know that Americans are still missing. I don't know how to get this through to everybody. So now we have this multi-trillion-dollar medical program that we can't pay for. We need it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it. I'm not passing judgment on it because I believe that people need health care. So let's go back. Donald Rumsfeld had one public disagreement with George W. Bush, and that was over using troops in New Orleans. He knew the pitfalls. The press didn't pick up on it. The Jewish press, and I'm not saying that negatively, the Jewish press has covered up everything that happened in New Orleans. They covered up the release of the virus. They covered up what happened at the Danziger Bridge. They covered up the fact that the military troops were in New Orleans. They covered up the fact that the troops were there to protect classified CIA and Department of Defense facilities. They covered up what happened at the BP oil spill. They covered up the fact that the Navy caused the explosion. All right. Let me go through my notes here real quick. You can view my videos on YouTube. Remember, 11, 50, and 47 is not there because it's been blocked, but you can get it from the Supreme Court. So John Roberts gets nominated by Bush. He owes Bush. So he comes out and writes his opinion, calls it a tax. How can he call it a tax? What congressman would have voted for it if it had been a tax? He's rewritten the legislation. That would it have passed? We don't know. The intention of Congress is it wasn't a tax, it was a penalty. So Roberts calls it a tax, writes the opinion and saves his not his good friend, but he saves George W. Bush. You realize, and I'm saying this, Bush and Obama can be tried for treason, for genocide, crimes against humanity. It is reprehensible that they haven't told the American people the truth. Or how about when Bush flew over New Orleans in Air Force One and didn't land? Ambassador Donald Ensign was very clear that it was because he didn't want to get infected, and his staff. Well, I understand that. I have a problem with that, but why not tell the American people? So they have my book. They know about it. So now we have this multi-trillion-dollar medical program that specifically is going to be a law because of the Katrina virus. All right. I was classified as a terrorist because of this knowledge that I had. Never charged with a crime, but I was classified as a terrorist. They attempted to murder me in the New Orleans Parish prison. They put me in isolation for 11 days and medicated me. Never charged with a crime. They succeeded with Coast Guard Commander William Goatsey. Here's an email. I wrote an email to my cousins and to my close friends in the last day. Email to my cousins, Admiral John Christensen, President of the Naval War College, and to source. Dr. Joe Christenson, a psychiatrist, a colonel in the Army and retired. Mark Christensen, he is the brand manager for Procter & Gamble for Tide. All right, emailed well to Ambassador Donald Ensign. He is a source. He is President Bush's roommate from Yale. He was his director of protocol, and he was ambassador to Brunei. Email to Jeff McKay and his wife Teresa McKay. JK is in the Pentagon, works in budgets and finance. But Terry is the key. She is the director of the Defense Finance and Accounting Service. She's the equivalent of 3-star general. She is a source. She told me there was a division in New Orleans that she issued in cash in satchels. Ensign confirmed what Bush did. So let me read what I wrote. Okay, I said to John, Joe, Mark, Donald, JK, and Teresa. What Chief Judge John Roberts did was unprecedented in the history of the Supreme Court. He is an ultra-conservative. Please review the opinion that he wrote. Kennedy voted against the law in its entirety. Kennedy did. If anybody was going to be a swing vote, it was Kennedy. Okay? Roberts called it a tax, completely violates the rule of law and goes against the Supreme Court protocol and against precedent. All right? It is called judicial legislation. All right? The Supreme Court rulings are to be based on what they think Congress intended the law to be. Congress did not intend it to be a tax. They strictly, intentionally stayed away from that. All right. Obama stayed away from it. Obama never argued for the law based on the tax issue. Roberts came up with it. That was never a discussion by anybody that was commenting on the Supreme Court in the ruling. None of the constitutional scholars talked about that. You have witnessed something that is incredible and has not happened in the history of the United States. Roberts knows about the Katrina virus and the fact that 150 million people could be infected. He had no choice but to participate in the cover-up. The truth will come out. I mean, we're seeing it in New Orleans right now. The average life expectancy of a man in New Orleans is 54 and it's dropping. It'll be in the 40s within a few years. Our country cannot afford Obamacare, but on the other hand, how do we help those people that have been infected with the Katrina virus? I believe that people deserve health care. I hope my cousin Admiral John Christenson can make peace with his God about this. John's a devout Catholic. I'm very surprised he hasn't come public. As a source, he should have helped me out. And I've also attached the United States Supreme Court and the Katrina virus. So you all make the call, and you decide what we as a nation are going to do. This is just wrong. People deserve to know the truth. Will Congress continue? I don't know. I don't have the answer. But, will the press pick up on it? Obviously, the Jewish press is not going to pick up on it. They're not going to tell the truth. Are the bloggers? No one wants to believe it. It's no different than the Penn State scandal and when Paterno knew. It's in what he did and the president of Penn State. It's no different than the Madoff scandal. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a real problem because we don't know the long-term effects. People deserve to know today. We have children getting sick. We have our senior citizens getting sick. Who's going to pay for all of this? Harvard University should. The NFL should. The American Bar Association, should cough up $100 billion. I mean, lawyers are responsible for this. Well, let me summarize. The court knows about the Katrina virus. The things that I've done, going to arrest them, my background, my capabilities, never being interviewed by any law enforcement agent over my paperwork and my documents, my court filings to arrest the judges. Not one journalist has ever interviewed me. You make the call, ladies and gentlemen, but this is the truth. I'm telling you the truth right now. Roberts did it to save Bush, because if he didn't do it, Bush would be going to jail and he would be tried for treason, genocide, murder, crimes against humanity. I hope you all wake up, because this isn't the end. This country is broke. We're $17 trillion, now going on $30 trillion in debt, ladies and gentlemen. We are never going to get out of it. My name is David Andrew Christenson. Godspeed.